All this is just still, I'm just thankful for God. Thank God that, you know, that I'm strong and I'm resilient, and nothing really gonna stop me. You know what I'm saying? Unless He decides. So I understand that. I just keep going. But other than that, and getting myself together mentally, it was more of the stress than physically, because you work so hard to be who you gonna be, and then you working for this new life, and then it made me realize that wealth is nothing without health. I mean, you got to be wealthy in your health before you can be wealthy anywhere else. So if I can say anything, get anything from it, it's taking care of yourself. I'm a guy that works out and do everything that I can do to stay healthy. But now it makes me more like the herbalist, getting on tea, doing things that gonna be different. Because we don't remember, everything they do is practice. Okay? It's practice. You know what I'm saying? So, try this. So we really don't know what's going on. So, just be careful. And
we're glad. Yeah. Glad to hear that, bro. I mean, you said dedicated. I mean, you sure.
Yeah. That's a little. You got to do what you got to do, because you got to be strong in everything you stand in. And that's what this is all about to me. It's about getting the information out, keeping up with what's going on, and then showing people that the resilience of people, of men, of women, of us. You know what I'm talking about?
We really appreciate that.
Well, talk to us the truth with Amy. Tell us about your week.
It is Thanksgiving week. You already know what's up. I'm in these stores shopping for these hungry folks in the city. And for me, because I had to sneak and get my stuff in. Well, I ain't sneaking in, but I ease our shopping in while I'm shopping for somebody else as well, so it makes it easier for us. So, like, on the way here tonight, we had some last minute stuff to get. We realized we had everything except some sweet to eat. We ain't have no cakes, no pies, no nothing. We ain't got no sauce. We ain't never had one of them.
Really?
We got some type of key lime pie and a chocolate cake. We had to get the key lime pie because I got 2 children that's too much chocolate. They don't like chocolate like that. So I've been preparing for Thanksgiving. And actually, when we leave here, I got to go home and finish chopping up bell peppers, onions, celery to get ready for this dressing.
So let me ask you
cranberry sauce. And macaroni and cheese.
Do y'all be happy when it's Thanksgiving?
And chicken.
Y'all be happy?
And rolls.
Do y'all be happy?
It depends on who they are.
No, I'm saying like when Thanksgiving is coming up, are y'all happy that
leading up to?
Excited about Thanksgiving, like you do for Christmas, put it like that.
Our family is yes, because we don't fool with nothing but the children. We got enough kids, so we'll have to deal with them with the kids. Okay. But as far as extended, like going out, is definitely a headache.
Okay.
Trying to decide, we'll just deal with our own family this season.
Yeah.
So it gets like that.
So I mean, my week it was pretty good. No extravagant, but I was more. I kept seeing all these killings, man. It's getting crazy out here in Virginia with the football players that got killed, right?
Yes.
Then we wake up and see the Idaho killing.
The stabbing.
Yeah, the stabbing. And then shit. I wake up this morning, I see another Virginia Walmart with a manager. As soon as the shift changed, the manager walked in the break room and killed 6 people. I'm like, dude.
Are you serious?
I'm telling y'all. Shit get crazy. So I'm just like, okay.
It's a lot going on out here in the world. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, now, I heard the Virginia thing with some bullets and stuff.
Talking about with the football.
You know what though? I can believe that.
So let's just put alleged. We'll put
allegedly.
Put alleged on top of it. Allegedly.
Don't know, but that's what they're saying.
That he got bullied.
I can believe that, because bullying causes you to say, you know what, you ain't finna do this to me no more. This the last time.
But does it have to go that far?
It don't.
I mean, because even with cause we dealt with bullies when I was growing up.
See, back then it was just cracking. We called it cracking.
Right.
Now they done took it to.
I mean, I believe that too sensitive. See, this is where I'm coming from, because okay, somebody janking at you, whatever, you know what I'm saying. If your skin ain't tough enough, then just I mean, you got to toughen up somewhere. I would think, but you never know. You know, everybody got their own way of doing their thing. But me, you know, we dealt with bullies all the time, and you know, we either gonna fight or we gonna jank back. But I ain't got to shoot. I ain't got to kill you because you know the thing is, I mean, you kids.
Yep.
I mean, you kids do stuff. People they don't think about it. It's fun and games, but to go get a gun to kill somebody because they talk about you.
That's deep.
I mean, it's levels. If you think about it, like you said, when we were young, you cracked. It was called cracking.
Yeah.
You either
Play
learn
the
how to
dub.
crack,
Yeah,
man,
yeah,
or
learn
you
how to
fought.
crack.
Or you fought.
That was it.
So, alright, so that was a level. Then it came to a level when you got bullied or cracked on, they were killing themselves. They were killing themselves. You know, committing suicide.
No.
Now they on a level like, oh, I ain't taking no more. I'm killing you. So that's what I'm saying. If you think about this generation, it's more like enough is enough. I'm not taking no more. Think about when these young kids that start fighting back with the police. You know, back out there it was unheard of. You shooting, you know, you shoot with the police, whatever. Or shit, these kids now it's
Well,
common.
I'm not gonna say it was unheard of. Cause
No, what I'm saying, there was a rarity though. It's
Yeah.
common now.
You see right now, like you even got look at Facebook and look at the parents on Facebook. The parents on Facebook saying stuff, and then if you say a certain thing, it's I'll pull up. So they're teaching their children to pull up and to do stuff.
It ain't even a fight.
Right, not that, but they be
they pull it up
like
with-
pull up. Now they either gonna pull up the fight or
No, they
pull
not
up
putting up the fight. I'm telling you, they putting up the shoot.
a fight, one or the other. But
Yeah.
I seen some girls do it like
Yeah.
they, no, like I had an issue on Facebook one time. A girl was like, well, whatever was going on, because they had a difference of opinion. There's
Yeah.
always a difference of opinion.
Yeah.
The girl was telling them, somebody said, well, if you want this smoke, you can pull up. So the girl was like, well, she do my baby daddy hair, she ain't hard to find. I said, let me tell you something. There's a husband living in this house that's out of the City Projects. Now, you can pull up if you
throw it
want.
all the way on the back.
Pull up if you want to. And
Gotcha.
he's not going to appreciate y'all pulling up at his house with
Yeah.
his mess, because he don't even bring drama to the door.
Yeah.
We don't do that. But they, so long story short, they never came. But now with my kids one time, we at the park one time, they done came over to me. I'm enjoying the jazz in the park. Enjoying my little cheering on the playground, playing everything. Good, I'm chilling. My children come over and say, Mom, there's some kids over there talking about us. I said, well. So they took me over there to the children. Them with the raggedy little set of children I ever seen in my life. Never had. I looked at them children, I looked at my children. I said, let me tell y'all something. All this material on these children. Y'all done came over there and got me. I'm gonna go sit back down and enjoy the show. Y'all had at it with these kids. And when they got through with the kids, they said the kids left. The kids, get out. And I taught y'all how to crack. We crack on each other all day. Don't come telling me that these kids talk about you crack back on. As long as they ain't trying to fight you, we good.
So getting back to bullying.
Yeah.
The topic is
Bullying.
We talk about bullying.
Yes.
And we're gonna take it, we always see bullying amongst peers, friends, stuff like that. But what about bullying inside the family? And I don't think a lot of people gonna be like, what are you talking about? And the thing I'm getting at when I say bullying inside the family, it's more like, you know how families is separation. You know, you got your cliques over here, you got a clique that I guess the popular clique in the family, everybody hang with.
Cool,
You got two or three that we don't deal with them.
Yeah.
So to me, I take it, you know, I looked at a form, I don't know, it hit me like that's bullying. If you think about it, it's like who makes those rules inside the family? Like there's certain people they're not welcome around, or you know they're not part of us.
Well, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Because I got family members like that. They do it to themselves. It's their behaviors.
Okay.
It's things that they do. It's things that they're saying. You know, if you got alcohol involved, you got a certain family member, they get too drunk.
Okay.
You know, now you want to cause problems in the family. But as far as the bullying in the family is concerned, I honestly think that my children sometimes bully my middle boy because he's so chunky. You know what I'm saying? So they are always like, you so fat, you saying this and that. He cracks back, but sometimes I get to thinking, maybe he don't want to hear that all the time.
Gotcha.
The fat jokes, you know. And so what happens is the person is getting cracked on all the time is feeling some type of way. And us, we having fun. You know what I'm saying? At their expense. You know, we're like, oh no, nigga, what you get mad for? You know what I'm saying? You is me. They might be dealing with something.
Well, I believe that if people talking about you or whatever, that's their business. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what do they know about you? In all actuality, you know, they might know some physical attributes that you might, or they might think are not attractive, or they might not think fit. But the real thing is, who are you? I mean, from the inside. You know what I'm saying? So bullying only can harm you when you're insecure in who you are. Being insecure in who you are, you know, how would I care about you thinking anything about me? You know what I'm saying? People think things about you all the time. People been talking about me all my life. You know what I'm saying? Now, when I was younger, I used to bully my sisters. I know that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't a bullying to the point where I wanted to hurt them. It was to keep them in line because all these little dudes was running around. You know what I'm saying? They were little girls.
Okay.
So I had to keep them in check because mama working all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I didn't consider it bullying then, but it could have been considered bullying now because it was like we had to take care of the family. I was the only male there. So am I gonna let these other guys come around and just do what they want to around these? Nah. So I'm gonna bully them and me. You know what I'm saying?
I'm the bully.
Yeah. So that's just how it was then.
Okay.
And then, but I was secure in who I was.
So,
But let me say this real quick, and I'm so sorry. Sometimes it's the matriarchs that be the
or
bullies.
patriarch, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Or the patriarchs that be the bullies because,
Or they with it.
right, it's sometimes it's grandparents, great grandparents, uncles. It's the older family members sometimes that's the bullies and that the people don't want to deal with. And I know that from experience. The older family members keeping up the stuff.
Yeah. You know, one of my biggest things I always say, if you however the family's going, you always look at the head. You know, the head of the family. Normally, you can kind of pinpoint them and see how they move. You be like, okay, this one is like this. You know what I'm saying? To make sure the picture are moving a certain way, or they weak. And so I was getting back to you had said, if certain people say when they come around, they drunk or whatever, or they loud or confrontational. So what do you say for the people that's not even like that and still get bullied? So what we talking about then? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they're not welcome around the family, or just make them feel.
I don't think that they're not welcome. They just don't be. Those particular people just don't be want to come around.
So what make them not want to come around?
Because they don't want to deal with that. They don't want to. It's the fact that it's too much drama. It's a lot. I don't want to argue with nobody. I don't want to feel like you're getting smart with me. I don't want to feel like you're bothering my kids. And see, me, I was one of everybody in my family is married.
Okay.
Here I go with 4 baby daddies. Okay, so consistent. Then I was a teen mom, which all of them were teen moms. So that was, a cycle. I don't even. My grandmother had 3 baby daddies.
Shit, shit didn't stink.
It did, right? Right. But the children, they didn't either were married or didn't get married or didn't have children. So now you got me coming along with these kids out of wedlock, 3, 4 baby daddies, and of course it was always something missing because I was raised Pentecostal and Baptist.
Okay.
Pastors in the family, child. I done had to get some folks together.
You just out there slinging.
Child, what you say? Then my grandma want to get on the phone. Here we go.
You want to
Grandma
serve.
getting on the phone, right? Telling
Learn about you.
everybody.
Yeah, all your business. All your business. Now they bad with that.
Yes, I'm getting suspended from school. You gonna call everybody? Then they coming over for Thanksgiving.
But
Everybody
that was-
asking me
let
about
tell
it.
you what get me is, why you got to tell everybody my business?
Right.
What does that got to
right.
do with anything?
They came to help or nothing.
Nothing.
They ain't at one parent conference.
So why is you telling
Why they got to know it?
and that used to be a big thing in our family. My thing with my mom was like, look, it wasn't the fact that we didn't want to go around. It was the fact that's how whatever business we got. We ain't come here to be judged by nobody. We came here to basically gather amongst our kin.
Yeah.
So when we come there, we don't come there for you to tell me what we ain't doing, what we
Right.
should do. We don't need you to tell us how to live.
And why we think that the other family members better think they
I
better?
have no
Why?
idea.
They holy rollers. They think they better. Why
I
you
mean, what
even
makes you better?
thinking this? Why you even thinking it?
I mean, what in your mind puts you in a position to think that because you got something more that is better?
Right, that's a good one too because you do have them family members saying they be looking down at folks. Child.
And see what I'm gathering from y'all too is people won't come around because they feel like they're being judged.
Bothered, judged, bullied, all of that.
So that's what I'm getting. So if we making certain ones feel uncomfortable, but who makes these decisions in the family? Like
The individual.
It's not a collective thing that
Yeah.
they sit up and have a meeting about.
No, it's just
It's just certain spirits. You know, it's a thing that's in the spiritual realm where your spirit might vex another spirit. You know, and these people don't know how to really handle this confidence that you come in with. Like, why are you so confident? Why do you walk like ain't nothing wrong with you? And you're not really doing that. You're just being who you are. But they thinking that this car, this house, this job makes them this. You don't have none of that, but you walk in with an air of confidence in yourself, and they're like, why are you confident?
Yeah.
Why do you think you can just walk in here and be? Because I am.
Yeah.
And you get upset because I am, because you have based your confidence on the things that you have. I base my confidence on who I am. It's a difference. You know what I'm saying? Things doesn't make me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, people think that job means something. People think that titles mean something. They don't mean nothing. And then they get upset because it don't mean nothing to you. And you can when you can walk away from stuff, like I walk away from plenty of things. And people are like, well, how do you walk away from that? You didn't never care. When it doesn't serve me anymore, why am I dealing with it?
Right. Why am I dealing with it?
I always just seen when family, I always in my mind, I just look, you can let your hair down, you come be yourself. I mean, you just, like everybody got something going on. Like nobody perfect. So I just always feel like, when you say family, ain't no judgment. It's like, man, we got the same blood flowing, so what are we talking? We come from the same lady or, you know, this type of stuff.
Like you said, the matriarch and the patriarch got to stop that. My sons got into it this past real bad. My oldest one done decided that my youngest one ain't his brother no more. They done decided they ain't
come up
brothers
with
no more.
their own
Right.
thing.
Like, how y'all just not gonna be brothers no more and y'all my children? So I got him in the car and we drove up to my youngest son. I made them talk that out and hug it out. And I even did a video on Facebook because y'all my children. I'm not finna have my kids at odds about nothing stupid, about no material, about things.
You did right.
No, thank you.
You did right.
And then-
As a matriarch, you
The
did
thing is, what I found out at a meeting one time out there, that most of the killings are done by domestic violence participants. Okay, so now you get into a domestic violence. Domestic violence doesn't have to be male or female; it can be family members. You know,
Yep.
It's been
a couple weeks ago, allegedly a nephew shot an uncle, whatever. But it's things like that that you think that you can disrespect. Like I'm an uncle, but I'm not gonna disrespect my nephews, nieces, nothing like that. I stop messing with you before I
It's me.
come at you like that.
Yeah.
I just leave you alone. Because there's no need of me getting any upset about you or what you do or what you're not doing that I feel you should do. Because that's your life.
That's your life. Yeah.
That's not mine.
Yeah.
If you want to live your life like that, that's fine. But I don't have to participate in that.
Right.
See, what gets me is that when I decide not to participate, they'll get mad at me.
There go your answer right there.
It
You personally, individually decide not to participate. So when it came down to our families, I personally decided, because at first it was just gonna be me, Jermaine, and our dog, and the one that stayed there.
But y'all said the key thing though. It's a reason you decided not to participate. It's a reason.
Self-care.
Yeah, that's it.
Self-care.
But I mean, it was self-care. It was
Self-care.
a reason made you go in that mode of even self-care.
Yeah, the thing is, it was the vibe was off. We walk in here, and you can walk in a room anywhere. And when the vibe is off, you know it.
Yep.
I mean, you can sit and try to fake the vibe, but you'll leave that situation and say, you know, that vibe was off.
Yep.
So when I feel the vibe off, for me, then why am I there?
Because I'm not trying
And
to.
then you know the family do then. They, you know, a lot of people like throw their hand, you know, or deflect like, oh, what's wrong with him? What problem going on with him? Man, everybody know, bro, go to the root. See, there's a lot of times we'll talk about, we'll say, okay, Tim got a problem. Show them what Tim's problem. We won't go like, people be knowing what the problem was, but we won't address it.
Yep.
And a lot of times we won't have that conversation. You know, everybody be grown. A lot of people won't sit down and have that uncomfortable conversation to even move forward.
Is it worth having the conversation? What are you gaining from it?
Because the
See,
person might not change. They might be the person that's saying, this is how I am, you know how I am, accept me how I am. Now those people, we basically, and we pretty much allow them
To be
to
that.
be that instead of checking them.
Well, it's still uncle, you know.
Yep.
But the thing is, what if it's not that? What if the fact that you just don't jive?
Yep. 'Cause that's
you
true.
just don't jive. I mean, it's just not there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe you're on two different levels.
Okay.
Okay, so now you're on one level, I'm on another level. So we can't really jive together. So I'm cool with that. I'm gonna let you go through that, cause I know where I'm at, you know where you are.
You can have that with kids too.
Yeah.
With your own children, you can give birth to a child and you don't bite. And I know that from experience.
Man, that's so tough.
Yeah, but you gotta deal with it.
Yeah.
It's tough, but
I
it's
mean,
real.
but you know,
Yeah.
the thing is, all I want, like me and my son, we talk, we kick it,
Yeah.
but he don't come around like that. He ain't run, but I don't trip with him
Gotcha.
because he got a life he's living.
Mhm.
I'm there.
Yeah.
If you need me, my nigga, all you gotta do is call.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is let me know. I'm gonna call, talk to you. We gonna do our thing.
Mhm.
But I don't press nothing.
Right.
Ain't no sense in pressing.
Mhm.
Cause when he's ready, you know, one thing I learned when I was incarcerated, it says when the student is ready, the teacher will come.
Mhm.
Okay?
Mhm.
So now, when it's time for me to learn, a teacher will come that I will accept, and I will say, okay, I'm listening to what you're saying. But if I'm not ready to learn something, then I'm gonna be sitting in a space till I open my mind up to learn. A lot of times we want things to be a certain way, but are we willing to go through the process of getting it there?
Well, are we even ready yet?
Are we even ready?
I like that you're gonna talk about that tomorrow.
And then a lot of times,
You gonna stop doing, you gonna every time we come back, the next day it be
You
something.
pulling off, I mean, it's some good stuff. The teacher came.
but see, that's the thing. And she talked about this morning on the line. She talked about it. And by the way, people, please tune in every morning.
Every morning.
6 a.m.
I gotta get better with it.
Yo,
Right?
so she was talking about it this morning, like, you know, she's in the learning mode. You know, she's trying to learn, you know, right now, there ain't no time to, you know,
Compete, right.
compete. She's
Nah.
learning. And so if you can get something from us, we can get something from you, we here to help each other.
Yeah, and that's it.
You know, we here to grow.
Well, listen, now another thing we're looking at as far as growing and learning is being on the same page. What is the family's mission?
And see, I got to learn how to be more of a participant in the family. I got to be a better
But see,
family
that's
participant.
that's your own self-awareness.
This
You
is
can't
my own,
do that.
I did, because
Right.
even when we had the conversation earlier, because this is family, because we are
Right.
family here, when Vic said, well, we should have talked about this earlier, and he's right.
Right.
I'm just a person that don't say too much. Y'all see, I mean, I talk a lot on, y'all see me, it look like I talk a lot.
People talk a lot and be the shy one.
Right.
I mean,
Exactly, right. So I'm not very quick to say I got a problem or, you know, call and ask for help or, I'm not quick to do that. So I've got to learn. Absolutely.
Exactly. But when you grow into a position of self-reflecting, self-understanding, you also get into a hermit mode because everything is about self. You know what I'm saying? You think, especially after people disappointed you, abandoned
Family.
you, left you out there in the cold. When you thought that you had help and you called for help,
Yeah.
you say, hey man, I need some help. The next thing you know, everybody in the family
Know
knows
you
you need
need
help.
help.
You know, all that old mess there.
I know
What
what's
is
going on.
that?
That's so good. You play, see what I'm saying? That's why you go in the hermit mode right there.
I mean, it is.
So
So we gonna go back. So we gonna go back to the bullying. So so within family, sometimes I think it's passed down through the generations too. Of certain, just say they didn't like your mom or your grandma.
Ooh.
So they all like that
The whole lineage.
Exactly. Kids ain't did nothing to you.
Can't nobody in the
I just
family-
don't even run. Cause you think about it. All right, so think about this. When siblings get mad at each other, if the sisters or the brother, sister, whoever not talking, they don't talk with the children.
The children can't talk because you can't. When that child asks you to call Uncle Lindell, shut the hell up.
Yeah.
Better call Lindell today.
Well, see, that's something that
Don't ask me.
in my experience, I went through some things like that in our family, but I never stopped. You know what I'm saying? Cause whatever y'all got going on,
Yeah.
that's y'all. But see, I was grown.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I wasn't a child. But even as a child, understanding a lot of things that was going on, I would never stop loving who I love. Cause regardless of what you might be, that ain't gonna stop me from, you know what I'm saying? And my sister's the same way. I done broke up with plenty of women. They still cool with them. Because the way we looked at it is, if I built a relationship with you, just cause you stop liking me, don't mean you gotta stop liking them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just how it is. You know, if things go wrong, why would I stop? Me and you have a relationship.
It
Okay?
get deeper than that too though, because folks be fooling around with folks' spouses and
Let you
it
know.
get real deep.
Yeah, they
It
go-
get deep.
now
See,
you-
we didn't even scratch the surface. I thought about it.
Yeah.
I had to think about
When
it.
they go into that mode, it'll be like, you know, y'all done tripped out. You know what I'm saying? That just, I mean, you can't let them urges go past the boundaries of bloodline.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, let's just keep it real. I mean, cause if you want to keep harmony within the sections that you're in, then you gotta keep harmony. You gotta keep yourself in check.
You gotta have discipline.
Discipline. That's the whole thing, you know. I mean, I mean, people lust, sure enough. You know what I'm saying? But still, you got to have that discipline part where you saying to yourself, hey, this is off limits.
And see, we're around what, Thanksgiving. So the family members that feel like they got bullied or they feel like they're not part of the family, this not a good time for them. You know, like it's not a happy time for them. You know, because normally you want to be around family around Thanksgiving. You know, because everybody's gonna come together and eat and celebrate or whatnot. So every
I mean, but that's when you make your own family. Yeah, I mean, you can't. You know, just because you're blood don't mean you're family.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
You relate.
You know, one thing about when I was incarcerated, on these days like this, we had a family of dudes that we broke bread with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was no like, okay, I couldn't be with my family. We had dudes that I built relationships with, working out or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then you became close knit. You know what I'm saying? You looked out for each other because you was in a situation where you were grinding together, basically, trying to live, trying to survive. So that built a family type bond. You know what I'm saying? Because you have all type of things going on in the jungle. So you got to find your like mind. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody ain't thinking alike in that.
Yeah.
So you got all type of shit going on.
Man, like with me, man, my wife always tell me, like, baby, everybody ain't like you. Like for me, when it comes to family, I never dislike nobody in the family. You know, everybody got their ways. Don't get me wrong. I be like, I mean, but then it gets to a point where when you feel like you're getting the truth, you kind of have to move forward. Like, and like you just said, you have to build your own, start your own family. And so, and it's crazy because I can't fathom being into my children. I can't fathom being into my children.
Oh, it happened. Yeah.
You like, oh, it's real.
I mean, especially with us in the entertainment industry, so we bump heads a lot. Okay, because he's his own artist. Okay, you know what he like to do. Like
But that's business. Y'all make some business.
Right.
That's business with family. I
So
get
it
that.
is bad.
Okay.
Now, me and my middle one, that's the one that he is the most like me in a lot of ways.
You be looking at yourself then, I think, with the middle.
That middle one, sometimes I can't even stand, even when he smells great, fresh out the shower, smelling good. It's something about him that just,
He's so stupid.
You see yourself in that one.
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. We just like, even when I try to, you know, have the compassion and love and hug on him, and it just, that voice. It's like,
You see,
what is
so
going on?
okay, so we talking about bullying, right?
Yeah.
So imagine how you feel if your kid's getting bullied at school. So how can somebody else bully somebody? Because a lot of times we don't never put ourselves in those shoes. We do stuff and never think about the other side of it. So I think a lot of times we need to, you know, before we do something like that, or even make somebody feel unwelcome or uncomfortable, like put yourself in those shoes.
But how do you know they feel uncomfortable?
Yeah, well now you know.
I mean,
I don't know it took for
If it's your child, you know.
know this is
Yeah.
like I don't know, like for me, I know if I done wronged somebody
well,
or
wrong. I'm talking about if you just being you. I ain't talking about you purposely going at me.
okay, or
I'm just talking about people think you bullying when you just being you.
I've had that
You know what I'm saying? Cause see, I come in somewhere and people be thinking different. You know what I'm saying? Scenario. Cause you know it's always been this thing. Oh, you intimidated. Hey, what are you
It's the
talking
Dharma
about?
glasses.
The who?
the
Dharma glasses.
dog. I got the yellow shit. I like the yellow.
Them things dope.
Well, I'm just saying, you know, people just come with the old, and you just be you. You know what I'm saying? I've had situations where I can be somewhere and I just be chilling. not saying nothing. And I remember
Yeah.
just, especially back in the day, I had this one guy, we was doing the music, I was in music, so, I mean, we just kicking it, so we just hanging out, whatever. Matter of fact, we had Freaknik in 93. So all of a sudden, we getting on, we going up to talk to some people from Sony. We got to do a little showcase or whatever. So we get in the elevator, and I don't know what dude got to tripping. So he just all of a sudden just grabbed me, like, and I'm like, this dude got to be tripping. So I put him in a yoke right quick, you know what I'm saying? So all the other guys like, why in the hell he grabbed you? I said, man, I don't know what he was thinking about. He said he should have grabbed anybody but you. But it just, the presence sometimes causes people to act.
So you have an intimidating presence. Like, you have to think. Like, a lot of times, you don't smile a lot.
No, I smile. I mean, ain't nothing to smile about.
So what I'm saying, if you always, like a stalemate face, I tell my wife, if you're not smiling, it's hard. It makes it unapproachable. I don't know what you're thinking. I don't know if you're in a good mood or a bad mood. But you have an intimidating presence when you come to, if you don't know you. I know you, so.
I was finna say, I had a friend like that. They never smiled. I call her my serious face, but I knew when she was laughing on the inside.
Exactly. You got to know.
I do.
Like, you're Jimmy Bab, you know, but you not. Your force is like, don't fuck with me.
Yeah, I mean, but I've been through a lot.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I'm saying? So, but that shouldn't make you intimidated. That should make you say, I want to get to know him, or what is it about him, or whatever. Because when I want to talk to somebody, I go talk to him.
Well, I got a question now that we done softened up the stuff, and I know that you can I get a doo-wop? That's all I'm saying.
You never had a doo-wop?
Yeah, boy. That's why I want another one. I ain't know how to make them know that, because I was just visiting them 39 days I was in there.
Oh, yeah.
I was a baby dog up in there, so they had to.
Oh, man. Now you want to do up with the cookies, or you want to do up with plain peanut butter?
They had cookies. They did have cookies. I remember that. I remember
them
cookies.
cut mouth.
Yeah. This time we can't have me a good doo-wop.
Yeah, we'll show you how to make a doo-wop on
I've
here.
been had a taste for a doo-wop ever since I got out.
So let me ask y'all individually. Have one of y'all ever been bullied?
I have.
People know I've been to try to bully me because
I ain't talking about now. I'm talking about growing up. I mean,
I used to fight all the time.
okay, so you ain't never been bullied.
Man.
They tried it.
Okay.
I've been
Space.
bullied. Yeah, I remember this guy, man, back in the day. And, it was so funny. I had to be my 6, 7, and I love football. I used to think I was Yale Sayers. Okay, so I go outdoors. I'm on the play. I done beg mom to go out there and play ball. I know they playing football around the corner, so I go out there to play football. When I go out there, I see the dude that used to bully me. When I see him, I go back in the house, and I go back to my room and start playing. So mama said, well, I thought you wanted to play football. I said, nah, I'm cool. Mama like, that boy out there. I said, I couldn't lie to her. I said, yeah. She said, you better get your ass out there and play football. So I either got to deal with her or deal with him. She undefeated. So I got to see what this guy got. You know what I'm saying? So what I did though, and I just my mindset, I had a box cut. I used to cut little things. So I put the box cutter in my sock. I'm 6 years old, 7 years old. I put the box cutter in my sock. Went out there to the field. Now he's looking at me, but there's a lot of other little kids out there. So I'm like, okay. So I get out there, and then we got the plan. He get the ball. He run the ball. I hit him. I like broke his little back. I said, oh, he ain't nothing. Oh, he ain't nothing. So I went and put my little ball cut by the tree. I said, okay, we playing now. That's how I got over it. Okay. In the field of play, when it's not a fight, but you're playing football.
Yeah.
And when we had this contact, and I saw he didn't have the power that I had, it was over with me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Now this dude done ran me and another dude before and all this old stuff. And I don't even know why I'm running. Dude running, so I'm running with him.
Yeah.
But then
Run no more.
Nah, it wasn't no running after that because it's like you have to face those fears. For me, I had to face those. I had to understand that I was fearing something that I didn't even have to fear.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm talking about? It was something about me that I had to understand. Not he wasn't really bullying me. It was I was nervous. I was insecure.
Okay.
And in families, I feel like a lot of times when we nip it in the bud at the beginning, when people first do stuff, then it won't be a whole lot of animosity and built up anguish. You mad for
Right.
years.
For years.
Yeah, so by
That's
the time
all.
you explode.
That's all.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
my
and-
folks, yeah.
And you just need to talk. I mean, come out with it.
Yeah.
Me and my grandmama got to fight one Easter Sunday.
Yeah, fought your grandmama.
She asked for it. She was lying.
Y'all physically got to fight.
But I physically attacked her. But the
Oh,
family,
man.
but they was on my side because she was the bully. Remember I told you some of your heads be the bully. So after years of being bullied by the grandmama, I had to grab her up and. Now
Man,
it
wait,
went
Grandmama 6 and 7, you
in her
grandmama.
dementia state. She know not to cross me.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
She'll cross anybody in the family. But when she see me,
Scott, you wrong.
hey, Dr. Amy, she be happy now. I know in her dementia state.
You're a fool.
Because I was tired of it. I was fed up.
Yeah.
You know, so we come from situations, and it, like you said, it's like it go on and on. Start with the grandmama, then the children do it. The husband, like their aunts doing it. It's going.
They went down each
Yeah, it
generation.
keep on and it keep on. So
You said the magic word, man. You got tired of it.
Got
And that's
tired.
what a lot of these people are being tired of getting bullied. And that's why you see more of what you're seeing going on.
And
Go.
look, let me tell you this too, real quick.
Go ahead.
That's why I used to fight all the time too. Y'all been wondering why folks fighting in school all the time and fighting with other folks. Because it's folks in your family member, your grown folks, you can't fight them. You can't do nothing
You gonna
to
take
the
your
people
shit out
that's
of
bullying
school.
you, right? So you get to school and somebody bother them, beat your ass because I can't beat my grandma's ass.
Gotcha.
I got you, yeah.
So basically, you saying everybody need counseling.
They do.
Shit, yeah.
Everybody.
I mean, and then counseling's not bad. People think about
I
it.
love it.
I mean, you have to really, I saw a documentary last night about this cat came out of prison in Kansas City. And, I mean, the dude, I can't remember the name of the documentary, Master something, but dude was a Rembrandt type painter. But his mom set him up sitting in prison. But the biggest thing to me, he was going to a counselor that was really letting him understand and define who he was. He wasn't pushing anything on him, but just to sit down and be able to talk and get this up out of you. You know, a lot of times we think, especially as black people, that we have to keep everything to ourselves.
Man, I'm so sick of that narrative. Keep your big God. Me and Jermaine couldn't have got through what we went through if I want to call and put people in our business.
But you
That
gotta
was
put the
good.
right one now.
I had to get the right one.
Can't get them
See,
young
and
folks.
you know what? And I know not to step on nobody's toes. It was times that I was reaching out to the wrong people. I'm reaching out to people with problems that they can't even they
Right.
can't solve their problem. I need a sturdy couple that mean they gonna stay together. They mean they gonna stay together. They fight and stay together. It ain't no issue.
And then they ain't gonna be biased either. They gonna tell you what the business is,
Mhm.
right? So I just asked y'all, have y'all ever been bullied? I've never been bullied, but back when I look back, I was part of that crew that did the cracking or laughing at people. So that was bullying, and I guess you call them not the angry. What group you call them the bad? Well, no, it was more. They got a name for it now. The girls when they be bad and mistreating. Cause I just watched
Mean Girls?
The mean, yeah. So we was the mean crew because I had one of my partners. He did the cracking. I was the giggler. People got mad at me for laughing all the time. I got kicked out of class. I was just laughing. So when I look back on it, man, and I apologize to all these people, man, that I remember. We cracked on girls, boys, whatever. Like people that I think a lot of times when young, we crack on folks. We don't have it either, but we'll crack on people that don't have it. It's almost a reflection. I don't want you to see. I ain't got it either, but crack on you. We point out their flaws or whatever. So I was part of that group, man.
I mean, I believe as kids, you do the things that as kids that as you grow older, you grow out of. But the kids. I believe a lot of this stuff is just going too far.
Yeah.
You don't. Cracking a joke or saying something, your feelings get hurt. You have to build your self-confidence up. This is something that the parents. I know with my son, when he was growing up, and he was an only child when I was here. So all he had to do was talk to me. So me and him used to have deep conversations about how he felt about different things at a young age. And the self-confidence that I tried to install in him was that, I mean, regardless of where you at, or who you're around, you're there. Understand that you're there. You know better, but you know worse. You have to be who you are, regardless. Let me tell you, this little young guy, you know what I'm saying? And he's looking at me like, you know what I'm saying? But I know as I speak, seeds are being dropped. Now he might not cultivate them right now, but I know as time go on, I vibrate over this system that he had with these words that it'll come into effect. And sure enough, as he got older, he became who he is. And I'm thinking that, because I talked to him in her stomach, while in her womb, you know, while he was growing. It was me and him. It's like God knew I wasn't gonna be there, so I had to do what I was doing. I spent time with him. You know, and I'm saying that parents a lot of times don't spend the time with the kids to give them that security of who they are. Because I am the originator of you. So I'm gonna give you me to let you know that not find it within inside of yourself, but I'm gonna give it to you so you will have the blueprint to know that it's there. You might not understand at that time, but you're gonna feel my whole essence with you, so you know I'm walking with you. You know what I'm saying? This gives us strength.
That's a good one, because I want to say, you could imagine as an adult how hard it is. If you get mistreated as an adult, you feel bad. So imagine a kid getting mistreated.
And they can't do nothing.
They can't do nothing. Like you were saying.
Yes.
I took my frustration out. I remember God said to me, all right, so God told me, he said, Lindell, I think the reason you was good in football, he said, you took all your frustration out on the football field. Right? And I never looked at it like that. I said, damn. You
got an outlet.
So, that was my outlet. And so, you know, as a kid, you can't do nothing inside of home. You can't deal with the adults. You can't talk back. You can't really.
You can't even be yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah, because they'll look at you crazy for being yourself.
Exactly.
So I always have been that parent that watched my kids, and I pretty much allow their actions to tell me how to take care of them. Okay, so I had one that we knew his first word was football. I'm not lying. The youngest one, football was his first word. Not mama, not daddy, football. That was his right.
Gotcha.
That was his first word. So we fostered that. Okay, that one always been into theater. My oldest, we fostered that. Okay, so he evolved into a recording artist. So we fostered that. We got one. We don't know what he wants. That bill. You know what I'm saying? I tell you about. But I have tried to foster. You know that.
Instead of making them be something you want.
That I want them to be. No, you know, our parents be like, no, my son ain't finna play no football. But what if your son wants to play
football? My son
football?
finna be a doctor.
What if you don't want to be a doctor?
Yeah, exactly.
Right, they do it. You got some people that go to school because their family members tell them to go. I got people that have said, this ain't no degree for me. This was my mama degree. This is my mama and daddy degree. I gave it to them because they wanted me to have a degree.
And I think we learned that because we growing up, we was living for our parents or the family, whatever they want us to be, or whatnot. And then I guess once we got our own, okay, you know, what you trying to be, we're gonna let you be who you trying to be. But you still gotta guide them at the same time to get there.
Yeah, you give them the right tools. Because like when people used to say, because Jeremy was in theater, and we used to get so much backlash about him being in theater, because that's not normal for, you know, straight black children in the hood for him to be in theater. So it was a lot of backlash, and it was an expensive thing for him to do, elective extracurricular activity, but there's also plenty of scholarships out there, y'all. So if you got a kid, yeah, it's definitely cool. And let me tell y'all, y'all that got the children that want to be rappers, foster that, because that is a talent. And once you get involved in it, you realize that it's 95% business.
But do you want them to get into this rapping scene they got now? What they
killing
talking about?
No, they. You don't. If you didn't raise them that way, they're not gonna be.
And that's what
we be into that.
We're working on something that we're trying to push more positive influences in there. You know, but my son, my youngest son, Ace, he's into theater, model, good looking. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's into all that. Hell, he be having Engelbert Humperdinck and all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? I be like, you know what I'm saying? I'm tripping, but I mean, he got it. He understand what he wants. He understand now. He go about it different than I do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I had to really pull myself back and say, look, okay, yeah,
it's harder than go.
Yeah, man, because I'll be like, man, if you do it like this, you do it like this. If you do, but you know, yeah, but you really can't, you know, cause we still strive. You know, we're still pushing. We're still trying to get there. So it's hard to tell a person how to do something when you're still in that same mode, rolling, and trying to get there.
And they're
So,
gonna be like, how can you tell me?
exactly. So, you know, and then you have to me, recognize the fact that, you know, they have their own opinions, their own thoughts, their own.
That's funny you say that. That boy got mad at me because I didn't raise him good enough. Because when he decided to evolve into a rapper, you know, you go into the hood with these real live hood dudes that do this hood stuff. Okay, so he the cleanest thing out there. He like, you didn't raise me good enough. You alive? You alive? No, but he go to work and see what. I'm glad I taught him that because he's on the rap scene, and I tell anybody, you do not have to die. This boy go, he go to work, he perform, he leaves. Okay, so if the show start at 9, we can count on Jerry to be in that door before 12 o'clock or before 1 o'clock, depending on when he go. But he's going, he's performing, he's leaving. He network before he go on stage. He coming right back to that.
Because it shouldn't, having a career in music shouldn't be a death sentence.
Yo, you shouldn't die.
You don't have to die.
Like, that's a cool ending. You know, fuck with out like a
No, that ain't how you want to go out.
No.
Because, I mean, to totally be honest with you, know, I done did all type of things in the street, but I wasn't trying to die. You know what I'm saying? I took death-defying chances.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that was a life that we lived in the 90s.
And I'm gonna say this, and people don't be wanting, again, I ain't trying to step on y'all toes, but it is what it is. These folks raise these children to be like this, and then act like they don't know why they like this. Because you and your brother now putting guns in their hands. We seeing it on Facebook. They posting up with all of this money. We know what they doing. Come on now.
They get fired now.
Come on now.
Ray and Pookie was a great child.
Right.
I mean, they
He
did
get
all the
it.
time. I mean, Ray was riding. I mean, just
And I
Ray
mean,
Ray
you
like
tell-
Robin.
like killing folks.
You know,
I mean,
yeah, it was. It's a, you know, and then a lot of times the thing that come out, you know, you might not even be doing half the stuff they say that you do.
yeah.
Yep.
You know, people will put things on you too. You know, I done had a lot of things put on me. You know, but you know, back then it wasn't social media. It wasn't everybody didn't know your business, so it was just rumors, street talk.
See, now they go pull your shit back up that
man.
you been posting
You gotta be
5,
current,
8,
right.
10
You
years
gotta
ago.
be
They be like, you remember you was
Yeah.
this.
You
They go
gotta
back
be
and pull
ready.
it up now.
And see, that's so you got to be intelligent.
Yeah.
See, this game is an intelligent game because it's an information game. So you have to really be intelligent on how you move, and that comes from the child to the adult. I mean, you can't just get out here and be doing these things like you heard about back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't the same. It ain't the same lane. I mean, they got cameras everywhere. You know, when we was growing up and we were coming through, you know, you could dip, you could do this, you can go do that, cause it wasn't no. But now, Big Brother watching everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, you have to change your game according to your terrain. See, a lot of times people ain't looking at their terrain they in. You know, they still want to live in the vicarious way that we lived back then. But what's happening is you need to be in the present.
Yes.
The present right here letting you know that we're sitting here talking right now, but there's cameras everywhere. We walk outside, there's cameras everywhere. You go past a light, run it, see what happens. You get a letter in the mail, ticket, with your tag on and everything. You know what I'm saying? You got to pay this ticket. So, you know, it's time out for playing. It's time to really get down and decide what you really want in life.
And then you think about, we were talking about bullying. Think about that girl that went over to Mexico and got bullied and got killed. They, I mean,
And,
y'all know they
oh
bullied
my
her.
God, that was crazy. And
That
then
was
one of them was a boy that was jumping.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Allegedly it was a guy. They had showed the pictures allegedly that it was somebody we don't know. And yeah, that was bad. That was real.
I mean, but my thing is, with all that, what was that about?
You killed, you feel?
I mean, was it that serious?
And nobody's even saying, I don't even see a post yet, because usually if something like this happen, if she was that bad of a person, somebody gonna post about it. That's coming out. Ain't none of that coming out. It's like,
And
even
allegedly, she footed the bill. She paid for the place.
Allegedly.
That's what.
Listen, the thing is, we have to, I mean, we got to do better. I mean, and then the thing about us is, instead of learning each other, we're hating on each other. Why?
Why?
I mean, we all in the same position for real.
Exactly. I mean, we all trying to come up.
I mean, we all building.
Yeah.
What are families like that though?
I mean, cause them the ones who know you. Them the ones who
So they
understand
gonna
your
keep you.
potential.
They gonna keep you where you.
And they'll rather hold you. Don't go nowhere.
Yeah.
I'd rather keep you.
I remember you
You got 4 baby daddies.
Yeah.
You don't supposed to be on. You supposed to. Tim, you been in prison. You know, all these different things that's supposed to hold me back.
Yeah.
And I refuse to let it hold me back. Or you refuse to let it hold. Now they say, well, I'm going to hold you. They don't.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's
Let me
right.
tell you about what she used to be.
They
or
love
used
it.
to do. This is what families do. Instead of building, we tear down.
And people will judge you off of what you used to do. You ain't even that person no more.
Be it in the person.
You don't even know that life no more. I can't even tell no
20
stories
years
about that
ago.
life no more.
Yeah,
Right?
every time
You left it. They can't leave it
They
alone.
can't leave it alone.
That's so crazy.
That happened to me before somebody brought up something to me that was so old and I'm looking crazy.
Yeah.
Man,
It's
listen,
a
I
lot of
ain't that
people.
dude.
A lot of people get mad at, you know, they wish they could do or be as strong as you are. They, you know, a lot of people be in that position like, I wish, you know, Amy talk about whatever she want to talk about. I wish I could do that. You know,
Yeah, just become a student.
yeah.
Exactly.
It's not that hard.
Yeah.
How did you do that?
We're not gonna ask though.
I mean, why?
Yeah, that's crazy. We won't ask.
Listen.
Like, how did you do that?
It's the girl that follow me that want to do like I do, and she do. And she asks questions right there on that post. I tell her, and then when she go live, if I'm up, I go over there and I help her out.
That's how it's supposed to be. Just like this collaboration right now. Now, as we before we go off, you know, we gonna talk about if we gonna go with the name or.
Yeah.
I like that name.
Yeah, we next time.
Don't tell them.
We ain't gonna tell them now, but we came up with a name for this show. What we want to do is push this part of it. We really want to push this really deeper than what we're doing. We're gonna make some new changes, do some new things, new content. I mean, and we gonna get outside of the damn studio. We're gonna start having people coming to the audience.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of things gonna change with this. It's gonna get bigger and better. So we wanna start inviting y'all to come on into this. We want conversation. We want interaction. You know what I'm saying?
I want y'all to tell me if my stomach look like it went down this month from last month.
All that. So yeah, if you want to be exclusive,
She-
you're gonna have to go subscribe.
I
I forgot my teeth though. I did forget the teeth, but somebody gonna have to call me and tell me, hey man, don't forget your teeth.
Yeah.
Put your teeth in the bag.
Yeah.
What teeth?
The teeth that's missing.
Girl, they looking like that's good.
They looking like that, yeah.
All your mouth like that.
Look, so they also need to go, you know, follow and like our page.
Yeah.
The
subscribe.
Truth with Amy, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay, you can come to the Truth with Amy page. You can subscribe to the Truth with Amy page. It's a building process. I'm working with these guys. They help me out a lot. They are such a blessing. So when you follow the Truth with Amy page, a lot of stuff that you see is because they helped out.
Big brothers.
So-
I mean, that's what
Yes. So I appreciate my big brothers and sisters.
And you can also go to T.O.G. and Marilla Facebook page, like and follow that page. We have a YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm working on that. I'm coming one day.
We got that T.O.G. and Marilla's podcast on YouTube. Please go there, subscribe. All you gotta do is click subscribe. You ain't gotta pay nothing. Just go
And Larry, I've been waiting on them clothes, man. You ain't sent me them clothes yet, bro.
Oh,
My
They gonna put it out there.
Yeah.
I got a 99-cent subscription. I can get
99 cents. If you go buy a bag of chips in the store,
They
you
more
can
than
pay
that.
a 99-cent subscription, man.
Prescription.
Come on, man.
And so look, we definitely, man.
Prescription? Subscription. I
Prescription.
think I said prescription.
I said it too. You know what I'm saying? I don't be knowing.
So y'all definitely need to tune in next month. We will have the name,
Yep.
what we're gonna be launching for 2023, right?
Right.
We have our name, and we also, man, we're gonna be having a live audience. So if you want to be part of that, man, get with us, subscribe. We're gonna have exclusive people down here.
We got a rapper now, but he ain't. he can't
Well,
come
we're gonna
on.
be eating and stuff and all that. If you want to be part of that, man, get with us, man. We definitely enjoyed everybody. Thank y'all for following us. Thank y'all for watching, tuning in.
See y'all in the morning at 6 on
Yeah,
Truth Amy.
Truth with Amy at 6 o'clock in the morning, man. Okay.
All right. Y'all have a good evening.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's how they done. Every step I take it with my game. I'm selling fucking the whole fucking no way. A young black man, and you know what that means. A hard life.
Yeah, but this thing here been crazy, but I really, really think it's gonna
I think he
build
might
up when we
stop.
start building our audience a little better.
Mhm.
And we really get involved into the participation, bring the food. Next year gonna be a big year.
It is, I agree, I'm
Yeah.
ready.
Next year gonna
I'm
be,
ready to plan.
yeah, we got it. I mean, and then maybe do some maybe get some performers up here.
You think we can do a quick performance right now, real quick?
Yeah.
You think we can get a quick performance right now, real quick? Yeah. You at the mic.
I mean,
You at the mic.
already.
You gotta get him off of mute, get him off the speaker.
Yeah. Okay, so we can, yeah. So,
You don't wanna come up here and give us a performance? What you think about me as a mama? Come up here, can you come up here and tell us, sit up and tell us what you think about me? You don't wanna do that? Is it bad? Oh my
man.
God, he probably finna, you can tell the truth.
You say the truth, but ain't it? Go on, tell it, man. Don't let her intimidate. Don't let her bully you. Don't let her bully you, bro.
She ain't bullying me, I just don't be kicking.
Oh, okay then.
You could've came up here and said
That's
something.
my cave when you looking at it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so we ain't on?
Y'all church.